Shalom, family. Now we're into part four, the divorce. This series is about who is the Gentiles that Paul was sent to. So now we're on part four, and it's titled The Divorce, Yasharel or Judah. Let's begin. Okay, we're into 2 Kings chapter 17. Let's start there. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, Hoshea, son of Eli, began to reign over Yasharel in Samaria for 9 years. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, but not as the kings of Yasharel who were before him. And Shemazar, king of Assyria, came up against him, and Hoshea became his servant and rendered him a present. But the king of Assyria found a conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, the king of Mizraim, and had not brought a present to the king of Assyria as year by year. And the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. And the king of Assyria went through all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it for 3 years. In the ninth year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria captured Samaria and exiled Yasharel to Assyria and settled them in Halah and Habar, the river of Gozan, and the cities of the Madites, which is the Midianites. Now, this came to be because the children of Yasharel had sinned against Yahuwah, their Elohim, who had brought them up out of the land of Mizraim, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Mizraim, and revered other gods, and walked in the laws of the Gentiles, whom Yahuwah had dispossessed from before the children of Yasharel, and of the kings of Yasharel that they had made. And the children of Yasharel secretly did matters against Yahuwah their Elohim that was not right. And they built for themselves high places in all their cities, from watchtower unto the walled city, and put up for themselves pillars and asherim on every high hill and under every green tree. Asherim is a god. And they burnt incense there on all the high places, like the Gentiles, whom Yahuwah had removed from their presence. And they did evil matters to provoke Yahuwah. And they served the idols of which Yahuwah has said to them, do not do this. And Yahuwah warned Yasharel and Judah through all of his prophets and every seer, saying, turn back from your evil ways and guard my commands and my laws, according to all the Torah which I commanded your fathers, which I sent to you by my servants, the prophets. But they did not listen, and they hardened their necks like the necks of their fathers, who did not put their trust in Yahuwah their Elohim. And they rejected his laws and his covenant that he had made with their fathers, and his witnesses, which he had witnesses against them, and went after worthlessness, and became worthless, and after the Gentiles who were all around them, of whom Yahuwah had commanded them not to do like them. And they left all the commands of Yahuwah their Elohim, and made for themselves a molded image, 2 calves, and made an Asherah, a god, and bowed themselves to all the hosts of the heavens, and they served Baal, and caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and they practiced divination and sorcery, oh my Yah, and sold themselves to do evil in the eyes of Yahuwah to provoke him. So Yahuwah was very enraged with Yasharel and removed them from his presence. None was left but the tribe of Judah alone. Judah now also did not guard the commands of Yahuwah their Elohim, but they walked in the laws of Yasharel which they had made. And Yahuwah rejected all the seed of Yasharel and afflicted them and gave them into the hand of plunderers until he had cast them out from his presence. For he tore Yasharel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam, son of Nebat, king. And Jeroboam drove Yasharel from following Yahuwah, and made them commit a great sin. And the children of Yasharel, they walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They did not turn away from them either, until Yahuwah removed Yasharel from his presence, as he spoke by all his servants, the prophets, that he would do if they did not repent. So Yasharel was exiled from their land to Assyria, as it is to this day. And the king of Assyria brought the people from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Awa, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Yasharel. And they took possession of Samaria, and they dwelt in its cities. And it came to be at the beginning of their dwelling there that they did not revere Yahuwah at all, and Yahuwah sent lions among them, which kept on slaying among them. And they spoke to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations whom you have removed and placed in the cities of Samaria do not know the right ruling of the Elohim of the land. And he has sent lions among them. And see, they are slain among them, because they do not know the right ruling of the Elohim of the land. Mm. And the king of Assyria commanded them, saying, then send one of the priests whom you exile from there to go there, and let him go and dwell there, and let him teach them the right ruling of the Elohim of the land. And one of the priests whom they had exiled from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how to revere Yahuwah. But every nation was making mighty ones, making gods of its own, and put them in the houses of the high places which the Sumerianites had made, every nation in the cities where they built. Mm. And the men of Babylon made Sukkot Benat, and the men of Cook made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima, and the Awas made Nibhaz and Tartaz, and the Seraphites burned their children in fire to Adramelech and Anamelech, the mighty ones of Sepharvaim. All these were gods, and we went over this before. This is just a refresher. They also they revered Yahuwah, and from every class they made for themselves priests of the high places, who offer for them in the house of the high places. They were revering Yahuwah, and they were serving their own gods too, according to the ruling of the nations from among whom they had been exiled. So they was trying to revere Yahuwah and their own gods. Most High wasn't going for that. To this day, they are doing according to the former rulings. They are not revering Yahuwah, nor do they follow their laws, or their right rulings, or the Torah and command which Yahuwah had commanded the children of Jacob, whose name he made Yasharel, with whom Yahuwah had made a covenant, and commanded them, saying, do not revere other gods, nor bow down to them, nor serve them, nor slaughter them. But Yahuwah, who brought you up from the land of Mizraim with great power and with an outstretched arm, him you shall revere, and to him you shall bow yourselves, and to him you shall slaughter. And God to do forever the laws and the right rulings and the Torah and the command which he wrote for you. And do not revere other gods, and do not forget the covenant that I have made with you, and do not revere other gods. It keeps saying it. And revere Yahuwah, your Elohim, so that he delivers you from the hand of your enemies. But they did not obey, and they did according to their former ruling. So these nations were revering Yahuwah, and they were serving their carved images, both their children and their children's children, as their fathers did, as they are doing to this day. To this day. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, we're going to start at Hosea. Hosea, and it's going to be pretty much the whole book. The whole book. Hosea is the basics for what we're going to read in the New Testament when we find out who Paul was sent to, what Gentiles was Paul sent to. But let's start with Hosea. The word of Yahuwah that came to Hosea, son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, son of Joash, king of Yasharel. Hmm. So all this happened, all this word came during their time. Hmm. I'm going to say it again. The word of Yahuwah that came to Hosea, son of Beri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, son of Joash, king of Yasharel. The beginning of the word of Yahuwah with Hosea. And Yahuwah said to Hosea, go and take yourself a woman of whoring and children of whoring, for the land has utterly whored away from Yahuwah. This is the basis. All the rest of this is going to be similitudes. So he went and took Gomer, daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. And Yahuwah said to him, call his name Yisrael, for in a little while I shall revenge the bloodshed of Israel on the house of Jehu and put an end to the kingdom of the house of Yasharel, which we read earlier that this did happen. And it shall be in that day that I shall break the bow of Yasharel in the valley of Jezreel. And she conceived again and bore a daughter. And he said to him, call her name Lo Ruamah, for no longer do I have compassion on the house of Yasharel, so as to forgive them at all. But I shall have compassion on the house of Judah and save them by Yahuwah their Elohim, and not save them by bow or by sword or by battle or by horses or horsemen. And she weaned Lo Ruamah and conceived and bore a son. Then he said, call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people, and I am not for you. I am not your Elohim. Put a pin there, family. Yet the number of the children of Yasharel still shall be as the sand of the sea, which is not measured nor counted. And it shall be in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they shall be called, you are the sons of the living El. Put a pin there. And the children of Judah and the children of Yasharel shall be gathered together and appoint for themselves one head and shall become up out of the earth, for great is the day of Jezreel. Put a pin there. Because he said, and the children of Judah and the children of Yasharel shall be gathered together and appoint for themselves one head and shall come up out of the earth, for great is the day of Jezreel. Okay, some say that is going to be Armageddon. Don't know. Say to your brothers, O my people, and to your sisters, O compassion one, strive with your mother, strive, for she is not my wife, nor am I her husband. Let her put her away her whorings from her face, and her adulteries from between her breasts, lest I strip her naked and shall establish her as on the day she was born, and shall make her like a wilderness, and shall appoint her like a dry land, and shall put her to death with thirst. And I shall not have compassion on her children, for they are the children of whorings. Put a pin there. For their mother has whored. She who conceived them has acted shamelessly. For she said, I go after my lovers, who give me my bread and my water, my wool and my linen, and my oil and my drink. Therefore, see, I am hedging up your way with thorns, and I shall wall her in, so that she does not find her paths. And she shall pursue her lovers, but not overtake them, and shall seek them, but not find them. Then she shall say, let me go and return to my first husband, for then it was better for me than now. And she did not acknowledge that gave her grain and new wine and oil, and increased her silver and gold, which she prepared for Baal. Therefore, hmm, Most High said, I shall turn back and shall take my grain in its time, and my new wine in its season, and I shall take away my wool and my linen that's covering her nakedness. And now I shall uncover her shame before the eyes of her lovers, and no one shall deliver her from my hand. And I shall cause all her rejoicing, her festivals, her new moons, and her Shabbats, even all her appointed times to stop, to cease, and lay waste her vines and her fig trees, of which she has said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given to me. And I shall make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I shall punish her for the days of the Baals, to which she burnt incense, and adorned herself with her rings and jewelry, and went after her lovers, and forgot me, declares Yahuwah. Therefore, see, I am alluring her, and shall lead her into the wilderness, and shall speak to her heart, and give to her vineyards from there, and the valley of Achor as a door of expectation. And there she shall respond as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up from the land of Egypt, Mizraim. And it shall be in that day of, declares Yahuwah, that you call me my husband, and no longer call me my Baal, Baal. And I shall remove the names of Baal from her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I shall make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the birds of the Shemayim, and with the creeping creatures of the ground, and with bow and sword and battle I break from the earth, and I shall make them lie down in safety. And I shall take you as a bride unto me forever, and take you as a bride unto me in righteousness, and in right ruling, and kindness, and compassion. Put a pin there. And I shall take you as a bride unto me in trustworthiness, and you shall know Yahuwah. Put a pin there. And it shall be in that day that I answer and declares Yahuwah, that I answered the Shemayim, and they answered the earth, and the earth answered the grain, and the new wine and the oil, and they answered Jezreel. And I shall sow her for myself in the earth, and I shall have compassion on her who had not obtained compassion. And I shall say to those who were not my people, you are my people, while they say, my Elohim. Put a pin there and go back and and look at what he said in verse 10. Verse Hosea verse 1 and 10, and what I just said, verse 2, chapter 2, and verse 23. Okay. I'm gonna read 23 again. And I shall sow her for myself in the earth, And I shall have compassion on her who had not obtained compassion. And I shall say to those who were not my people, you are my people, while they say, my Elohim. Then Yahuwah said to me, to Hosea, go again now and love a woman loved by a friend and an adulteress, according to the love of Yahuwah for the children of Yasharel, though they are turning to other gods and love their raisin cakes. So put a pin there. So I bought her for myself for 15 pieces of silver. Hosea did. He wouldn't do what the Most High told him to do. This is a similitude. A similitude. He told her to go and again and love a woman that's loved by a friend and an adulteress, according to the love of Yahuwah for the children of Yasharel, though they are turning to other gods and love their raisin cakes. So Hosea did. So he said, so I bought her for myself for 15 pieces of silver and a letheth of barley. And I said to her, you are to remain with me many days. You are not to whore, nor become any man's, and so I shall also be towards you. For many days the children of Yasharel are to remain without a king, and without a prince, and without slaughterings, and without pillow, and without shoulder garment, or house idols. Afterwards, the children of Yasharel shall return and seek Yahuwah their Elohim and David their king, and revere Yahuwah and his goodness in the latter days. Hear the word of Yahuwah, you children of Yasharel. For Yahuwah has a case against the inhabitants of the land. For there is no truth or kindness or knowledge of Elohim in the land. Swearing and lying and murdering and stealing and committing adultery have increased, and bloodshed follows bloodshed. Therefore, the land mourns, and everyone living there languishes with the beasts of the field, and the birds of the Shemayim, and the fish of the sea are taken away. However, let no one strive or reprove another, for your people are like those striving with a priest. And you shall stumble in the day, and the prophets shall also stumble with you in the night, and I shall make your mother perish. My people have perished for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I reject you from being a priest for me. Since you have forgotten the Torah of your Elohim, I also forget your children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me, and my esteem they changed into shame. They eat the sin of my people and lift up their desire to their wickedness. And it shall be like people, like priests, and I shall punish them for their ways and reward for their deeds. And they shall eat, but not be satisfied. They shall whore, but not increase, for they have stopped obeying Yahuwah. Whoring and wine and new wine enslave the heart. My people acts from their wood, and their staff declares to them. For a spirit of whorings has led them astray, and they went whoring from under their Elohim. They slaughter on the mountain tops. They burn incense on the hills, under oak and poplars and terebinth, because its shade is good. Therefore your daughters commit whoring, and your brides commit adultery. All this we know about from First and Second Kings that we already have read. But now it's punishment time. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoring, nor your brides when they commit adultery, for they go aside with whores and offer with cult prostitutes. A people that do not understand are thrust down. Though you are a whore, Yasharel, let not Judah become guilty. Do not come up to Gilgad, nor go up to Beth Awen, nor swear an oath, saying, as Yahuwah lives. For Yasharel is stubborn, like a stubborn calf. Will Yahuwah now feed them like a lamb in a broad place? Ephraim is joined to idols. Let them alone. Their drink is sour. They have whored continually. Her rulers wildly loved shame. A wind has bound her up in its wings, and they are ashamed because of their slaughterings. Hear this, O priests, and listen, O house of Yasharel. Give ear, O house of the king, for the judgment is for you. For you have been a snare to Mizpah and a net spread on Tabor. And they have made deep the pit of Shittim. So I reprove them all. I have known Ephraim, and Yasharel has not been hidden from me. For now, O Ephraim, you have whored. Yasharel is defiled. Their deeds do not allow them to turn back to their Elohim. For the spirit of whorings is among them, and they do not know Yahuwah. And the excellency of Yasharel shall witness to his face, and Yasharel and Ephraim stumbles in their wickedness. Judah shall also stumble with them. With their flocks and herds they go to seek, but do not find him. He has withdrawn from them. They have acted treacherously against Yahuwah, for they have brought forth strange children. Now a new moon shall devour them with their portions. Blow the ram's horn in Gibeah, the trumpet in Ramahi. Shout, O Beth Awen, behind you, O Benjamin. Ephraim is laid waste in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Yasharel, I shall make known what is certain. The chiefs of Judah shall be like those who remove a border. On them I pour out my wrath like water. Ephraim is oppressed, crushed in judgment, because he walked after the command when it pleased him. So I am to Ephraim like a moth, and to the house of Judah like rottenness. When Ephraim saw his sickness and Judah saw his wound, then Ephraim went to Assyria, and sent to King Yarab, but he is unable to heal you or to remove the wound from you. For I am like a lion to Ephraim, and like a young lion to the house of Judah. I myself tear them and go. I take them away, and there is no one to deliver them. I shall go. I shall return to my place, said Yahuwah, until they confess their guilt and seek my face in their distress, diligently search for me. And we're going to stop right there because it's kind of lengthy as we move forward to who was the Gentiles that that Paul was sent to. Hopefully you're getting the clue by now. Peace and blessing. Shalom.